We have a really exciting speaker today. She's extremely dear to my heart. As Tom told you yesterday, I was diagnosed with breast cancer a year ago and sat in the back of that stage behind the little curtains over there debating on what I was going to do about the fact that I had to have chemo. The type of cancer I have is triple negative, and there's nothing else that helps that but chemo. I was completely out of my mind, freaked out, more scared of the chemo than I was of the cancer, actually. And I knew I had to find somebody that was going to help me get through the treatments and get my life back on track to ensure that I'm healthy, fit, and everything, so this just does not happen again. So I spent 4 days back there looking for the right person to take care of my situation and that I knew would eventually help everybody that we meet and touch. And with that, I found Pam Jacobson, who's the founder of the Healing Sanctuary in Orange County. She was a perfect mix between Western medicine and Eastern medicine, and that's what I needed. I chose a Western treatment. I needed somebody that understood that, and I needed somebody that was holistic in their approach. She's going to tell you all about herself. I think she has the most amazing resume of anybody that I've ever heard before. So as Tom said yesterday, we believe a healthy agent is a productive agent. So with that, I'm really excited to introduce to you Pam Jacobson.
When you wake up on a daily basis at home in your normal routine and atmosphere, do you feel energized, ready to roll, meet the day? Yeah? Or are you the person that needs a whole pot of coffee before anybody's even allowed to talk to you? Right? Are you that kind of person? Kathy and Tom, as Kathy said, invited me here to talk to you all about how to optimize your health to optimize your success. And for some of you in the room, it may be enhancing success you already have. And for others, it may be actually creating some success. You know, for some of you in the room that haven't quite achieved what you had hoped. Let's look at whether or not your health may be what's holding you back. So why should you listen to me? I'm here to talk to you about your health. Kathy says I have an impressive resume. I don't think most of you in the room know who I am. Maybe my friend Marina in the back. I met a mentor early in my career that I have a lot of respect for. And one thing that he was really keen on, especially with all of the information available to us today, was who do you listen to? How do you know, with all of the information out there on the internet, what's right? I was at a dinner party last night, and the woman sitting next to me said, I'm so confused, right? There's so many diets, so many vitamins, so many people, so many experts talking about health. How do you know what's the right thing? And she's right. So who do you listen to? He taught me 3 criteria by which to measure that. And it's important to me, since I'm going to, in a very few minutes, give you the goods, the tidbits, the tricks, the strategies that you're going to be able to take home and use to optimize your health. I wanted to first help you understand why I would be the person that you should listen to today. So 3 criteria for deciding that. Does the person have the knowledge, the skills, the training, the license, right? You sell houses. So would you think of going out to show a house to someone if you weren't licensed to do that? Do I walk my talk? Does the person walk their talk? Do they actually have experience? Do they actually use the product they're selling? Do they actually make the money? Did they have the success that they're claiming that they did? And are they passionate? So let's examine those in terms of my experience and my resume. When I was 6 years old, I got a doctor's bag as a Christmas present, a little plastic bag, had a stethoscope, had a little candy syringe, had a little doctor's mask, and I was thrilled. By New Year's, I had a fully functioning hospital set up in the backyard of my little Midwestern dead of the winter town, using my candy shot needle and my mom's antibiotic chocolate chip cookies. I had a thriving business. And I realized at that point that that's what I wanted to do in my life. I wanted to help people with their health. And I was going to do it one adult at a time in my little backyard. Fast forward to high school, I had earned a grade point average high enough that permitted me to not have to go to traditional high school. And I opted out of high school and went to a trade school because they had a nursing program, and I knew that's what I wanted to do. When I was 6, I already figured that out. So for my junior and senior year in high school, I went to a trade school, and by the time my friends were graduating, I was working as a nurse. I held a lot of different positions over many, many years in the nursing field, women's health, cardiology, but the longest stretch of my career was spent in oncology, which is the care of cancer patients. And in fact, it was that experience that I now have brought forward into the work I do today that helped Kathy and Tom decide that I was the person they wanted on Kathy's cancer recovery team. So as my nursing career advanced and became more challenging, I found myself in a position where I was traveling about 70% of the time for one of my jobs. And as Robin so beautifully and eloquently described in her talk to all of us on Tuesday at TomX, the bottom fell out for me. And I found myself in my own healthcare completely off the rails. I had developed an immune deficiency condition as a result of being exposed to poison oak during a hike with my kids. And I had developed a massive infection in my body that I couldn't fight. And my conventional medicine training and colleagues and all of the medicine and the testing and all of the things available couldn't help me. And it quickly became clear, I developed a huge infection on my right leg, that my body wasn't going to take care of that, and had exhausted most of the conventional medicine options available to me, and that I was being told that it looked like the possibility that I would have my leg amputated from the knee down. That was not an option as far as I was concerned. But at that point in my life, I hadn't evolved to this understanding of my responsibility in my own care. My understanding of how I got myself to where I was. So I was very much a victim, angry, upset, how could this happen to me? And my girlfriend stopped by one day and she was just frankly tired of my bullshit. And she said, why are you being a victim? Why don't you, if conventional medicine doesn't have the answer, why don't you try something else? There's this place in Newport called Mother's Kitchen. Why don't you go there? And I'm like, it's a health food store. I'd never been in one, never had a vitamin, didn't know anything about that world. But I was desperate. I'm going to lose my leg. So I did as she said. I went over to the health food store, and I came out with a bottle of tea tree oil and a business card. The business card was for a naturopathic physician in my community. I'm like, what is that? Naturopathic, what does that mean? Right in my community, I didn't even know. So I called the office to make an appointment, and a receptionist said, I'm really sorry, she's got a 2-month waiting list. Now, I worked with a lot of doctors in my career and a lot of offices. We never had a 2-month waiting list. I cried on the phone. I was desperate, and she said, I'll put you on the list. And about 2 weeks later, I got a call. And I went in for my appointment, and I have to say, there's a lot of defining moments in a person's life, a lot of milestones that a person could say, that changed my life. When I look back on my life, that visit with her ranks at the top of the most life-changing moments for me. She spent 2 hours with me on that visit. And now again, I've been in medicine a long time, worked with a lot of physicians, some of the top oncologists in the world. And myself included as a healthcare practitioner, I never witnessed any more time spent with a patient than maybe 10 minutes. And certainly, we weren't interested in your story. We didn't really want to know how you got where you were. We just needed to treat you. She wanted to know everything. She spent 2 hours with me. And at the end of the visit, she said, I want to see you back in 2 weeks. But don't stop at my desk and make that appointment on your way out unless you intend to do the things that we talked about today. I have a big waiting list and a lot of people who want to see me, and I'm about helping people. So if you're not going to commit to the things we just discussed, don't stop at my desk on your way out. Otherwise, I'd like to see you back in 2 weeks. I was like, man, she is serious. I left her office that day 100% clear about my responsibility, 100% clear about how I got myself, that I was responsible for getting myself where I was at, and 1,000% clear that this was going to take some work. She was willing to help me, and I was going to pay her a lot of money to do that, but it was going to be up to me to do the work. And so I went home. She gave me a laundry list of things to do. Some of those things that we're going to talk about today: change the diet, look at your stress response, lots of different things to do. And I was committed. I was all in. In fact, on my way out of that appointment, I stopped at her desk and I set up my 2-week appointment. I knew I was going to come back. I arrived at her office 2 weeks later. I was diligent. I did everything she asked me to do. And by the time I got back to her office, a gaping wound about that size on the front of my right leg had a scab over it, and I had a date on my calendar to return to work where I had not been for over 9 months. I never looked back. When I was 6 years old, I knew that I wanted to help people with their health. 30 years later, because of my own situation, I finally found the path that was actually going to take me in that direction. So it took a little bit of time. I went back to school. I chose Chinese medicine training in a college in San Diego, graduated after a 4-year program, got my license, opened a practice in 2006 in Orange County, and quickly realized that though I had a bigger toolbox than I did as a nurse, it still wasn't big enough. It wasn't accessible, right? I'm in Orange County, Chinese medicine, maybe not so accessible, right? It's a commitment. You're going to get acupuncture, you got to come a couple times a week. I wanted to help people on a broader scale. And so I looked for what else could I add. And at that point, a colleague of mine talked about a functional medicine program, and I looked into that and I became very interested. So functional medicine is basically where our current healthcare system is moving. Right now, we're a disease-based system. You have a disease, you go to the doctor. You don't have a disease, we can't help you there, right? That's probably the majority of you in this room that have some kind of a health condition will not find the answer in conventional medicine, because it's actually a breakdown in function of the body. Eventually, that's going to become a disease, but right now it's just function breaking down, and your body is sending you signals all the time. But we've become really good at ignoring them. So I decided to go into the field of functional medicine, studied for the last 15 years, graduated in 2016, board certified in functional medicine. So my practice today is very broad. I have a very large toolbox of tools for my clients. Do I walk my talk? Criteria number 2. Yeah, I do most of the time, but I'm human just like you. I go off the rails. You never know when that might happen. On vacation, have a family tragedy happen. But what's different for me is that I have developed tools for myself that I know how to get back on track when I get off. But I do all the same things that have been discussed here since Tuesday, right? I have my morning routine, I have a schedule. If it's not on my schedule, it doesn't get done. So yes, I walk my talk on a daily basis, but it's a moment-by-moment decision to do that, right? A moment-by-moment decision. And if it isn't clear by now that I'm passionate about what I'm doing, I hope that that will become clear by the time we finish here today. So I want to get to the goods, the goodies, the things that you're going to go home with. And I want to start with a quick visualization. I think most of us probably have never really thought about what we look like healthy. Right? What does that look like? If you're sitting here today 50 pounds overweight and tired, then that picture has to look very different for you. Otherwise, how are you going to get there? Jay Bond said on Tuesday when he spoke that it wasn't until he recognized that he didn't even know the vision of success, until he was able to really clearly see that, he knew he was never going to get there. It's the same thing with your health. In fact, I would challenge that all of you in this room that are already doing a morning visualization routine, have you really looked at how you felt in that? Did you have energy? Did you have a smile on your face? Did you look glowing? Did you feel healthy? Add that to it. If you're not doing that in your morning routine, you have to start with a picture of what that success looks like, a picture of your health. What does that look like? Running on the beach, a smile on your face, the wind blowing in your hair. That's your point B. That's your destination. If we don't know the destination, how are we going to get there, right? What does your picture of health look like? Right? While I'm talking, maybe some of you that don't have that picture, close your eyes and maybe start to work on that. Start to get that outline. So picture of our health. What do we look like healthy? Point B, destination. Roadmap. How do we get there? How do we get to point B, right? I know what my picture is. How am I going to get there? Your GPS is all of the information. It's so amazing. I've been here since Tuesday. You guys already know this stuff. You've already learned it. You've got the framework, your morning routine, your schedule, right? All the things that Tom and the other speakers have talked about on Tuesday, all of those people who've had success talked about the things they do. That's your roadmap to point B, right? Your GPS. So let's talk about the vehicle then. I'm going to use a car analogy here because I think it makes a lot of sense since we're talking about a roadmap and a destination. You wouldn't just get in your car and expect it to take you somewhere. You got to know where you're going, right? So we've got our destination. We're going to plug it into the GPS. But what happens if the car won't run? All the tires are flat, right? Most of us take better care of our automobile in our garage than we do our physical body. Yet this is the only vehicle we came onto this planet with. It contains all of the life force, the soul, and the energy to deliver the gifts that you came on this planet to deliver. The house that you're going to sell to that young couple that will change their life forever. The soccer game you're going to coach tonight for your kid. The church social that you're going to attend on Sunday. How do you do that if the vehicle's not in good enough condition to get you there? How do you make that happen? So I want you to think about that car. Think about the shape your vehicle is in. You come out and you're going to go to work on Monday and you get in your car and all 4 of your tires are flat. All of them. Those tires represent 4 things, and this is where I'm going to give you some key, easy, simple strategies that you can implement today. Well, maybe when you get home from Vegas, it'll be a little easier. The first tire would be nutrition. Now notice I did not say diet. Okay? Tire number 2, stress response management. I did not say stress reduction. Tire number 3 is movement of the body. I did not say exercise. And tire number 4 is environment. So let's look at each one of these quickly. Because again, the take home here is these are easy, easy peasy, easy things. You can put them in place today. This is not about a massive, complex plan that you're going to follow. That's something that you need to pay me some money to make happen for you. But these are some strategies that you can start using right away. With nutrition, I want you to please get your notebooks out. We're going to draw some pictures. I'm a visual learner. I think when you have to interact and you have to draw, you're going to remember. A lot of information coming to you this weekend. So nutrition. I call it the salad plate scenario. Some of you in this room have heard this before. Draw a circle on your paper and bisect it, line down the middle, vertical line. On the right half of your circle, a horizontal line that separates that one right down the middle. So you're going to have a circle with a line in the middle, and the right half is going to be split into 2 pieces. Okay? I call it the salad plate scenario because we're sick and fat in the US because we eat too much and we eat the wrong things. So let's just start with taking care of not eating too much. Half of that plate's vegetables. I did not say fruit, I said vegetables. A quarter of that plate, upper right-hand corner, is your protein. Doesn't matter what kind of diet you follow, you're eating protein, whether it's beans or lentils or it's fish or chicken. Palm of your hand, little, got to fit in that right-hand corner. Oh, I need more protein than that. Maybe you do, probably not. We overeat protein. Bottom right-hand corner is everything else, which means that everything else is a condiment, the rice, the potato, the starch, a few bites. Okay? Salad plate scenario, 2 weeks. Do it for 2 weeks, every meal. Oh, I eat out all the time. Okay. Have the waiter bring the to-go container at the beginning of the meal and put half your meal in it. Do that for 2 weeks, and if you can honestly say you didn't lose a pound or 2 and you didn't feel better, then you need to see a professional about a diet to follow. Tire number 2, stress response management, critical. All 4 tires are important. I would argue then in our culture, tire number 2 maybe is a little more important than the rest of them. Because you can eat a healthy diet and you can exercise, but if you don't do something about managing your stress, none of that matters. My experience with my patients is the ones that do the best are the ones that are happy and have figured out how to manage their stress. We all have stress. Personal stress, world stress. So I want to give you a picture to help you understand how important this is. You're walking along in a jungle, you see a lion ahead, your brain instantly calculates that you're not going to win that fight, so you got to run. Everything in the body is shut down. You're not going to eat, sleep, poop, pee, procreate. None of it. You simply got to run. I would challenge that everybody in this room pretty much has a lion chasing them 24/7. And it's up to us to retrain the nervous system, which has hijacked the rest of your body systems, and is part of the reason why you're sick and fat and tired. So stress response management. I don't have a lot of time. I want to describe something I call the mini vacation. It's simple, easy to use, and it involves 2 things, breathing and visualization. 2 things that you should already be doing, especially the breathing part. So you would start with a deep breath in and slowly out while you're visualizing a relaxing event. Maybe it's a walk on a beach, maybe it was a massage you had recently. Close your eyes, take a deep breath. Do this with me for a minute. You only need to do it for about 20 or 30 seconds, right? Close your eyes, deep breath in, long breath out. Visualize something makes you happy, makes you relaxed. And let's just do that for about 10, 15 seconds. Deep breath in, let it go all the way down into your belly. Keep your eyes closed. We're trying to convince the brain that we're relaxed. Long breath out. Smell the air at the beach, feel the sand. Okay, open your eyes slowly, come back to me. How many of you felt even a minute shift in the energy from where you were before you did a few deep breaths until after, right? Many of you in the room. You just had a mini vacation. You can do this all day long. You can do this for 15 minutes in the morning, 20 minutes in the morning. Simple, critical. This will be the thing that saves your skin in the long run. Stress kills, my friends, and this is a tool that you can start using right now to optimize your health, to optimize your success, and help you deal with the stress in your life. Tire number 3, movement of the body. I'm not going to go into this in a big way. It's not exercise, it's movement. There's stairs right here, run them. There's a wall over there, do a wall sit while you're watching the talk. Do some squats, get up from your desk, get off the couch, walk the stairs. It doesn't require a gym membership. That's a room full of people in bad spandex and sweat. All you need to do is move your body. And if you look around, there's a million ways to do that. You just got to make the choice. And don't worry about what everybody else thinks while you're doing a squat in the middle of the room. 40 minutes a day. Get paid to exercise. Do it all before you get home. Don't go to the gym. That's not going to happen at the end of the day. You're tired, right? 4th tire is environment. Do we stop to think? What is our home environment like? What is our work environment like? Is there a way we could make it more serene? Is there a way that we could make it work better for us? I got a couple pieces of advice for you. Turn off the television. Turn it off. And if you have to have it on, make sure it's positive. I challenge you all, go on a 12-month happiness diet. If I have the television on in my house, it's got to be happy. If it's not happy, if it's not a comedy, if it's not something that holds me up and supports me, it's not on my television. No news, no politics, news shows. Remember, our brain's not that smart. It thinks we're dying all the time, right? We're in stress. Lions chasing us. And then we just add to that by watching crime dramas and Game of Thrones on television, right? Turn off the television. And the final thing that I'll talk about, environment. I could go on in all of these categories for this entire conference. It could have all just been about me and health this week. Environment we have to talk about sleep. The #1 fastest road to improved health is sleep. And the majority of us in this room, I can guarantee you, did not get enough sleep last night and probably won't get enough sleep tonight. But what about when you get home? How much sleep do you need? I don't know, varies per person. Enough to feel good in the morning. Can you fall asleep? Can you stay asleep? Sleeping medications are one of the top pharmaceuticals dispensed in the US today. That's got to tell you something. A lot of people out there not sleeping. But here's the deal. It's not because most of the time you have some kind of disease that keeps you from sleeping. It's because you didn't do anything to pump up the rest of the tires. You didn't eat right during the day, or you ate too late, you drank too much caffeine, you had too much stress, you didn't move your body. How are you going to be tired enough to sleep if you never moved your body? Right? So sleep is critical. It's the only time that you repair. Your body cannot repair unless you're asleep. And it actually won't repair unless you're asleep between the hours of 10 p.m. and 2 a.m. How many of us go to bed at 10? Right? How many of us go to bed before 2? Right? So sleep is critical. There's many other aspects to environment, but sleep is a critical piece of that. So let's review real quickly. Destination, point B, get your health picture. It's got to be clear. You should be able to paint it, right? And over time, it should become more clear. Road to point B is your GPS. That's your daily routine. Your vehicle, got to take care of it. It's the only one you got. 4 tires, nutrition, salad plate scenario. Stress response management, mini vacation. I'd like to do that 20 times a day. Movement of your body. Don't call it exercise and get paid to do it. Do it before you get home. Do it while you're at work. And finally, environment. Make your environment happy. Be careful about the people you hang out with. Turn off your television and get some sleep so that you can throw your arms in the air when somebody asks you a question about whether you woke up this morning and felt terrific. Thank you. I'm Pam Jacobson. Thank you so much for your time.
Hey, thanks so much for watching. If you want more of this, make sure you subscribe to our channel. Hey, thanks so much for watching. We have a number of events coming up, and we'd love to have you there. Visit tomferry.com/events and reserve your spot today.